Good day, everyone. So first of all, before delving into this discussion, I'll begin by stating that nothing happens in isolation, and all worldly phenomena, that is, everything that happens in this world, is interconnected. Thus, on the strength of that argument, the claim is that, irrespective of the differences between science and religion, there must be at least a medium of connectivity between those two methodological patterns of understanding reality, that is, between religion and science. Thus, the issue of interest for today, as I just mentioned, is one, science, and two, religion. So I'll begin with a conceptual analysis. Now, reading the definition of science, I'm reading a quote. Science is a systematic and evidence-based discipline that builds and organizes knowledge through testable explanations and predictions about the universe. It relies on the scientific method involving careful observation, rigorous experimentation, and continuous validation. So that is the definition of science. On the other hand, I'll conceptualize religion as the intersection between supernatural and natural principles of morality that are applied for deciphering metaphysical and epistemological truths. So hold on for a second and try to answer this question. What is the one thing that science and religion have in common? So that is the question. And my answer to the question is that both science and religion are deciphered through the human mind. So the common factor is the human mind. Now, for the sake of clarity, I'll give a conceptual analysis of what I mean by the human mind, at least in the context of this discussion. So, for the purpose of this discussion, the human mind is the part of the human faculty that is designed to execute the cognitive function of recognizing truths and deciphering reality. So the difference between science and religion is their methodological disparity or contrasting approach to the theory of the human mind. Thus, while the religious view the mind as a transmission mechanism that links man to higher levels of consciousness, scientists view the mind as a creative and interpretive medium for understanding nature and developing society. So, science is about ingenuity, while religion is about revelation. Now, for sake of analysis, I'll say that putting science and religion on the same pedestal is, for example, analogous to putting law and morality on the same pedestal. So the way that some aspects of morality are beyond the sphere of influence of law is the same way that some aspects of religion are beyond the sphere of influence of science. So in order to make a practical argument, one must focus solely on the areas where they intersect. Thus, when speaking of the connection between law and morality, one will most likely be forced to neglect the area of private morality while focusing solely on public morality. Because while private morality borders on autonomy and freedom of choice, in contrast to that, public morality is centered more on law, that is, public law to be specific. In the same vein, when speaking of the connection between religion and science, one will also have to focus on the areas where they intersect, on their areas of connection. So because spirituality is beyond the sphere of influence of science, one will correlatively be forced to neglect spirituality in order to focus on the natural aspects of religion which are empirically verifiable. So now, I'll be making reference to a biblical quote which is very relevant to this discussion, and that biblical quote or scriptural quote is John 14 verse 6, which quotes that I am the way, truth, and the life. So that is my point of reference. And on that account, the argument I'm trying to expatiate on here is the fact that the natural aspect of religion can be summarized in one word, and that word is truth. That word is truth. Consequently, truth is the connection between religion and science, in the sense that whatever is true is good science, and whatever is true also equates to good religion. In the same vein, whatever deviates from the truth is tantamount to bad religion, and whatever deviates from the truth is also equivalent to bad science. So that is the synonymity between religion and science. So I'll end this video with a quote. So the quote for the day is, truth is the universal phenomenon that is immune to the corrupt influence of conflicting perspectives. That's all, and God bless.